Your strength scares the narcissist. They know they failed. Think about that for a minute. Yes, your strength. This is something that the narcissist didn't count on you having. Remember, the narcissist did their best to burn you out. They did their best to use you, to manipulate you, to keep you trapped so you wouldn't ever understand what happened to you. And what they did is they never thought that you would put yourself back together. They thought they took the best of you, left you a shell of yourself, crumbled you up like a sheet of paper, threw you away in the freeway, and they were ready to slither off elsewhere to wash, rinse, repeat to the new supply. Well, what they didn't realize is that you were different than everybody else, that you would put yourself back together, that you would heal, that you would rise through the ashes, that you would conquer narcissism, that you would maintain your integrity, that you would maintain your empathy, that you would maintain your ability to love, that you would maintain your huge open heart, although now you will protect it. You see, at one point you were an empath. Now you've become the educated empath. The educated empath is the narcissist's worst nightmare. The narcissist never thought that they would see this day come to fruition, but yet it's here. The narcissist never thought that they would run out of supply, but yet that's what's happening. They also didn't realize that you were stronger than they anticipated. They mocked you. They sneered at you. They smirked at you. They stared at you. They grimaced. They made fun of you. They taunted you. They poked you. They provoked you. They tried to invoke reactive abuse. And guess what? A lot of those things took place, and you did probably participate in reactive abuse to a degree. You didn't even know what it was. Maybe even right now you don't know what reactive abuse is. I will share something with you on the topic of reactive abuse. You want nothing to do with it. This is when the narcissist is poking somebody. They're pushing their buttons over and over and over again. And then that person, said person, which possibly was you snap. You stand up for yourself. Maybe you raise your voice, or you call them out, or you say something out of character. And then the narcissist turns around and says, see, you're not in control. You're not as strong or as brave as you think you are. Look at you. You're pathetic. You're weak. Well, this is what the narcissist had to do to get you to experience reactive abuse. You see, you wouldn't have done that naturally. You wouldn't have done it organically because you don't have toxicity in your DNA. You are a kind, loving, stable, healthy person. You want the best for other individuals, and the narcissist knew this. They also knew that if they could get as close to you as possible, that they could work on you from the inside out, and that they could live in your mind rent-free, and that you would be subservient to them. That's why, and I've shared this for years, that's why you became the unpaid helper. You became the walk-in apology. You became the sounding board. You were the person who was regulating the narcissist. You were the cook, the cleaner, the errand person. All your finances were being manipulated. You were being financially abused, emotionally abused, spiritually, mentally, maybe even physically, but yet you didn't know what narcissism was. Think about how much you went through. You went through more in that one relationship than most people will go through ever. But guess what? You put yourself back together. And as I shared earlier, you rose through the ashes. You dusted yourself off by the bootstraps, and you've healed, or you're healing. And the more you focus on yourself, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the weaker that person or that entity gets. The weaker that entity gets, the less they matter to you. The less they matter to you, the more you realize that where you were is a place you will never go back to again in this lifetime or in the afterlife, wherever you believe we go to after, whatever you believe takes place. You see, that place was an invisible prison. It was the narcissistic fog. It was the trauma bond. It was also the devaluation stage. You were subservient to the person who you were loyal to, thinking that that relationship was going to get back to the beginning, the inception of it, which was the love bomb or the euphoric stage. You never got back there. Why? Because the euphoric stage was an illusion. It was a house of cards. It was a Ponzi scheme. It was nothing but a vaudeville act. It was a performance. It was a show. And the narcissist was wearing a mask to manipulate you. Remember, the narcissist is always performing for audiences. Sometimes the audiences are an audience of one. Sometimes they're an audience of two or more. And many times they're for a larger audience. Think about social media. What is social media? Well, that's the narcissist playground. This is where they perform for people that they will never actually meet in person. Many people who they're trying to lure into webs of manipulation, and other people that they've discarded. You see, it's not the way it appears to be on this planet called Earth. And everything, and I mean everything, isn't the way it appears to be on this planet called Earth. The narcissist was juggling multiple people at any one point in time. You were one of the people that they were juggling. When I say that, and I've shared this for years in videos, picture, if you will, a vaudeville act, a circus of horrors, a circus with a clown in the middle of the ring on a unicycle with his or her face painted, and the clown is juggling multiple bowling pins at any one point in time. Well, that's an act. It's a performance. You were one of the bowling pins. The clown was the narcissist. The unicycle is a cycle meant for one entity, one person. Una means one. I've shared this before. I'm sharing it again because you need to get the message. The narcissist won't change. They will never introspect. They won't be accountable. They won't apologize and mean it. They can't be authentic. All they need to do, and all they want to do, and all they have to do is look for supply sources. Anybody, and I mean anybody, is susceptible to falling into the narcissistic jaws or the clutches or these cycles that doesn't have the wisdom. You're different. You were trapped in a cycle for a period of time. You're out, and now you understand what clarity is, what mindset is, what narcissism is, what empathy is, what energy, what purpose, what trajectory, what ascension and elevation is. You now know what boundaries are. You now know what no contact is. You now know what blocking does. You now know that having a small footprint has benefited you greatly. And you now know that there are so many people that are trapped in narcissistic abusive cycles that probably may never ever figure it out. They may never crack the code, or perhaps they're so beaten down and so broken down that they don't see hope for another day. Those people are the people you don't want to be. Now, at one point, you were somebody similar to that. I was too, so I can say it, which means this. You were naive, you were vulnerable, you were being abused, you were being manipulated, you were subservient, and you were doing whatever that abuser, i.e. the narcissist, wanted you to do because you didn't think you could live without them. They knew that they would live without you. Play that part again. The thing is this, is they didn't just have you on the hook, they had other people on the hook too. And once they burned you out, then they would just put more energy from somebody else and put that energy into another source of supply. Wash, rinse, repeat. This is what these people do. It's what they've been doing since time began. It's what they will always do. But after the narcissistic relationship is over and after you've healed, your healing scares the bejesus out of them. It frightens them. And you may think, no, it doesn't. Guess what? You would be wrong. It does. Why do you think the narcissist did their best to infiltrate your life, to blow it up, to use the smear campaign, and to steal everything out from underneath you, and then discard you? Why do you think somebody would do that? Number one, they would do it because they could. Number two, because you didn't know what you were up against. But number three, because these people, these entities, these dark energy sources, they are so cocky, they are so arrogant, they overplay their hand over and over and over again, and they don't ever think anybody will exist after the damage they inflict upon said person. That is why they taunt people. That is why they have a herd mentality going after people. That is why they attack certain people. And that is why they really believe that these people will never, ever put themselves back together. Another reason why is because, think about it, before the internet and the smartphone, most people never did put themselves back together. It would have taken a Herculean effort to put yourself back together before the internet or the smartphone. Fortunately, we don't have to think about that these days because we are now in an age of abundance, in an age of authenticity, and now we have the internet and the smartphone. And guess what? AI is here also. We have all these tools that we can now use to help ourselves insulate and protect ourselves. And when I'm sharing all these things, and why I'm sharing all these things, is to let you understand one thing. Your healing scares the narcissist. You may think it doesn't. It does. Why? Because you're living to tell tales of the truth if you want to. Your existence frightens them because at any one point in time, you could pop up and shout from the rooftops and speak the truth. Not that you're going to. I wouldn't. I haven't, and I never will. I do what I call taking the high road. Stay in your lane, do the right thing, pay it forward, help those loved and trusted ones around you that are in reciprocal relationships, and continue to focus on yourself. The narcissist will get what's coming to them. They've already received what's coming to them over and over and over again, and they will continue to get what's coming to them over and over again. If you put it all together, everything I've shared in this video, and you understand that you healing, you getting stronger, it scares them because you're living, you're existing, and you know the truth. And if you know the truth and you broke the trauma bond and you cut the 4 ties, the emotional, the financial, the physical, and the spiritual tie from this entity, then now you are the strongest person known to humankind. This is the reason why I create videos. This is the reason why I've coined so many expressions over the years, including the mountaintop, the pinnacle of indifference. This is what happens when you cut the 4 ties: emotional, financial, physical, spiritual. When you cut those ties and heal properly, you are literally the kryptonite of the narcissist. Pause for a moment, flip it. Post-narcissistic relationship, before you knew what narcissism was, what was your mindset? You were experiencing FOMO, you were in the trauma bond, you couldn't get them out of your mind, you were thinking you couldn't live without them, that your whole world imploded, why go on? You kept thinking things like that. The reason I can say that is because these are the ideas that were running through my mind. But as you realize that that person never loved you, they never cared about you, they were jealous of you, they were envious of you, they're callous, they're hollow, they're shallow, they're bullies, and they know what they're doing. And when you realize that, then you realize the path to breaking the curse, the path to breaking the generational curse, and the path to breaking the cycle is for you to heal. As you heal and you ascend and you elevate, you get stronger. As you do your part, and I've already done my part, and we all do our part, these people, these dark energy sources have less avenues of communication that they can approach or attack or lure into webs. And that is beginning to have the ripple effect all over the planet. You see, remember, the person you're considering, they used to be able to do whatever they wanted to so effortlessly. They could pick and choose whatever supply sources they wanted. They could come and go as they pleased. They could leave people on the hook for days, weeks, months, maybe even years on end. They can't do that the way they used to. It's beginning to end for the raging, toxic, parasitical creature called the narcissist. They know this. I know this. You're now learning this. That's why you need to get as strong as you possibly can in this day and age. That's why you need to maintain your boundaries. And you need to understand that the narcissist had a monumental advantage over you. And they whiffed. They failed. They are a fraud. They could not knock you down and out for the count. And I will tell you something right now. They tried their damnedest. They tried their hardest to knock you down and to knock you out. They didn't want you to have a voice. They didn't want you to speak the truth. They didn't want you to see behind the mask. They didn't want you to figure out who they were. They definitely didn't want you to heal. And they were cocky and arrogant, and they were entitled, and they were thinking that there's no chance that that person's ever going to make it. There's no way. I did all the damage in the world to them. I'm actually getting better and better at my toxic narcissism, and I leveled up, and this person has no chance at all of making it out. Guess what? You did. Guess what? I did. Guess what? We did. As we get stronger and continue to pay it forward, the ripple effect has more and more momentum. What is inertia? Inertia is the lack of momentum. Inertia is what the narcissist wants you to be experiencing, essentially being frozen. Why I shared that right there? Because I'm free flowing in real time. Inertia is what you don't want to be experiencing. You want to be experiencing movement. You want to move your bones, move your body. You want to be journaling, meditating, getting out in the wilderness. You want to be exploring. You want to be carving new neural pathways, getting out in Mother Nature. You want to be meditating. You want to be writing. You want to be watching videos. You want to be healing and understanding and elevating and ascending. You also want to be blocking and going no contact with that person. I know it's a lot. A 16-minute video won't do it justice. This is exactly why I continue to build upon all of the 5,000 plus videos I've created over the years. Because eventually, and maybe that day is today, these videos will click with you. They will click, and you will continue to get light bulb moments, and you will realize, oh my gosh, he's right again. The stronger I get, the more I heal, the more the narcissist will be cowering. They will be shaking in their boots because they won't believe what I've done. That is true. But I want to flip something for a quick moment, then I will get ready to close the video. Remember, you're healing. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it to be the generational curse breaker. You're doing it to save your life. You're doing it because no one else can do it for you. These are the things I've done. And believe me, if you ever were questioning the ability of one human being who was broken in 1,000 pieces that put themselves back together against all odds during a pandemic, who was left for dead with a detached retina and had a mountain of credit card debt, etc., just go back to the first video I ever created called Glad You Made It. There's a whole playlist on it. I created that video March 31st, 2021. I've created it every March 31st subsequent years, and I'll continue to do it for the next 56 years. Yes, I will. That's why you need to keep your cup full. You need to keep coming back, get the wisdom, apply the tools, and understand that your healing scares the bejesus out of the narcissist. It scares them so much so that they will have to look inward even for a moment and say, oh my gosh, I'm losing my skill set. Oh my gosh, I'm not as strong as I thought. But then you know what they're going to do? They're going to do this. They're going to flip it and say, I can't believe this. This person, I'm referring to you. This person is superhuman. How did they do this? I took everything from them, their money, their relationships, their health, their time, their house, their job, their focus, their clarity, their belief in love, their belief in empathy. I took it all from them, but they're still here. How? I'll tell you how. Because you are stronger than you know. And because you believe in yourself just the way I believe in you. The more you believe in yourself, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the more you realize you can accomplish whatever you want to on this planet. As long as those 4 ties are cut, and as long as you can continue to focus on what you can control and continue to elevate and ascend. And understand one thing, the person you're considering, they are shaking in their boots because they know their days are numbered. Not just because of you, but because that so many other people on the planet are seeing the signs and they are putting 2 and 2 together. That's why your healing helps the whole planet. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you're not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Couple quick things. I'll share this with you. 1, you're amazing. Number 2, you are beautiful. Number 3, you're blessed. But above all, understand this. You are not alone. You may think you're alone. You are not alone. Just like I'm here in the Carolina woods. Am I alone? No, I'm with you. You're with me. We're connected. What you need to do is believe that this day will make a difference in your life, and that tomorrow will make a different difference. And the day after, you need to keep building, focusing, and continue to understand that you are an amazing human being. And above all, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.